Hi friends, if you are an architect or an engineer or any professional attached to the construction or real estate industry, then it is for sure that you are facing construction joints related issues in your buildings, projects or properties. It's sure because no structure is built without construction joints. Construction joints in concrete are inevitable as we cannot finish the work at once. Depending on the type of structural elements, vertical and horizontal construction joints are provided at different stages of construction. The next challenge will come whether it will be construction joint or we should provide expansion joint or contraction joint. In case of construction joint, where to place it? Where is the point of contraflexure? What is the right method to place a construction joint so that the structure doesn't lose its strength and durability? No cracks appear in the construction joint area resulting to water leakage, seepage, dampness, etc. And the alarming fact is that being the specialized subject matter, even very few consultants or contractor can understand where to use what jointing system and the probable pros and cons. Otherwise, as you have seen, even after spending huge, the problem will still remain as it is. But the good news is your wait is over. Smart Engineers has done detailed research on it, and the same is being presented here for your knowledge and use. Hence, to get hugely benefited, you can't afford to miss this informative video anymore. Stay tuned and watch till end and unlock the hidden potentiality. It is an effective compilation of useful knowledge as available, blended with practical exposures and experiences earned, to make it a complete and foolproof solution of waterproofing for your building, project, or property. Hello friends, this is Abhijit Datta, BTech PGDBA from IIT Kharagpur, fellow and chartered engineer from the Institute of Engineers India, registered valuer of IBBI, that is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, IGBC AP, that is accredited professional of the Indian Green Building Council, EAC, that is empaneled structural engineer, and LBS, that is licensed building surveyor from KMC, Kolkata. You are watching our YouTube channel, Smart Engineers. As you know, in Smart Engineers, our motto is to discuss about the subject matter which are not covered adequately in our college course curriculum, but there is a huge demand or requirement in practical or professional field or in industry. Let's try to bridge this huge gap between the academia and industry and develop our country. Before we proceed further, request you all to subscribe our this informative channel and press bell icon for immediate all future notification and updation. Friends, if you haven't watched our earlier two career advancement videos, that is how to earn IGBC AP certification in next 2 weeks, that too in first attempt, and how to become IBBI registered valuer and earn huge. Please watch them and get hugely benefited. Also, check out our practical research work on pre-stress concrete and how to do EPDM flooring, and just the last video that is on a foolproof solution for building waterproofing smart engineering approach. You can't afford to miss all these videos for your knowledge updation and career development. Links of all these videos are already there in the description box. Please check it out and also check our YouTube video for your ready reference. Where and how to place construction joints in concrete. Disclaimer: let's start with preamble. Construction joints occur where two successive placements of concrete meet. They may be designed to permit movement and or to transfer load. These are joints that are placed at the end of a day's work. Often, in reinforced concrete, a conscious effort is made to clean the joint and bond the next day's work. There are three types of joints: expansion joint, contraction joint, and construction joint. Now, as you can see, the interesting fact is that out of these, expansion joint and contraction joints are stress relieving ones, while the construction joint is not. Joints can be vertical or horizontal. Vertical joint in a building is at the beam bottom of the column and wall junctions. These joints, expansion and contraction joints, separate the structures and pavements. As we know, no structure is built without construction joints. Construction joints in concrete are inevitable as we cannot finish the work at once. Depending on the type of structural elements, vertical and horizontal construction joints are provided at different stages of construction. Needless to mention, the number of construction joints depends on the various factors such as availability of resources, time to be spent to complete a pour, the maximum possible supply of concrete, nature of the structure, thermal contractions, etc. Codal reference. As you can see, IS 3414 is the particular code of practice for design and installation of joints in buildings. We have to refer. This code discussed about following four types of joints. They are expansion joints, construction joints, contraction joints, and sliding joints. Also, contraction joints further could be of complete contraction joint, partial contraction joint, and dummy contraction joints. But please note, this presentation is on construction joints only. It is implied that careful pre-planning the location is important for minimum crack-free structural members. Construction joints key the two edges of the slab together, either to provide transfer of loads or to help prevent curling or wrapping of the two adjacent edges. Let's discuss the advantage of construction joints in concrete structures. As you can see, providing construction joint in concrete limits the area to be concreted in a single pour. Further, a large area cannot be concreted within a day. When the thick concrete is constructed, there will be additional stresses in the concrete due to the restraints in the thermal contraction. Now, few of the disadvantages. Having construction joints in water retaining structures always add a certain risk to its serviceability. All the construction joints need to be prepared properly before the next pour. An interesting study, effects of construction joints in multi-storied structures. Strength. A construction joint introduces a weak vertical or horizontal plane in an otherwise monolithic concrete member. Test results show that construction joints reduce a member's shear strength but not the flexural or bending strength. The construction joint in these states were located in a region of negligible shear. In a region where the shear is significant, a construction joint with a smooth surface reduces the shear strength of the member by around 40%. Durability. The location of construction joints also is affected by whether or not water and salts can easily enter the joint. Water and salt leaking through joints may cause rusting of rebar, pre-stressing tendons, and anchorage hardware in structure. Hence, location of construction joints should be at high points in the floor away from the drain. Construction joints in slab and beam. When beams are constructed in two different stages, we have to provide construction joints. The type of construction joint is based on the span, load, and the location of the joint, etc. ACI requirements for construction joint design. Construction joints in floors shall be located within the middle third of spans of slabs or beams and girders. Joints in girders shall be offset a minimum distance of 2 times the width of the intersecting beams. Please refer this picture that shows the location of construction joints where a beam intersects a girder. Construction joints in slab and beams. As we know, the desirable locations for joints placed perpendicular to the main reinforcement are at points of minimum shear or points of contraflexure. In general, the bending moment of the beam becomes nearly zero due to the change of direction from hogging to sagging moments at the one-third of the span. Further, since the joint in the beam is vertical, it is advisable to provide it where the bending moment is lesser. In addition, the shear force of the beam also becomes lesser away from the span. Therefore, generally we provide construction joints nearly at one-third of the span. The main concern in joint placement is to provide adequate shear transfer and flexural continuity through the joint. Construction joints in raft foundation. Generally, raft foundations are constructed in different stages. Concrete pouring is done by several pours. The nature and type of the construction joint in the raft foundation are more or less similar to that of beam and slab, but location should be verified by the project consultant or engineer in charge. Now, as we have mentioned in our earlier videos, for raft of water retaining structure or basements, PVC or other approved water stopper of appropriate size shall be provided in every vertical and horizontal joint of basement raft and retaining wall. For other types of structure, apart from water retaining, or where underground water table is not come up to consideration, proposed and approved construction joints surface shall be terminated with appropriate formwork with shear keys or factory manufactured metallic construction joint sheets. In the construction of basement, tanks, and swimming pool, etc., the construction joint between the walls and the base is facilitated with the use of kickers or strutters, which are best cast monolithically with the base slab. Now you can see the typical section for construction joint in raft foundation. Further detailed procedure to provide construction joints in raft foundation. In case the above mentioned monolithic kicker not constructed with water bars, risk of water penetration increases. However, in that case, hydrophilic, that is water soluble water bars can be used as next alternative. Now, standard operating procedure to provide water soluble bar. Construction joints in retaining wall. There is a special check to be done at the construction joints when larger retaining walls or structures having very high lateral loads are designed. Several shear keys are provided over the cross sections. The figure indicates the pattern of shear keys of a spillway ogee. Construction joints in columns. Horizontal construction joints will always need to be provide construction requirements. It could be at the floor level or just below the beam. Construction joints in other type of wall. As we mentioned earlier, for water retaining structures or basement periphery or retaining wall, where underground water table is considerably higher, PVC or other approved type water stopper to be provided in all horizontal and vertical construction joints. But for other type of structures which are not water retaining or where underground water table is not that much higher, we can terminate the construction joints with shear keys or factory manufactured metallic construction joint sheets. Formation of cold joints in concrete. A plane of weakness or discontinuity formed when a batch of concrete hardens before the next batch is placed against it is called cold joint. Please go through in detail for efficient management of cold joints in our structure. Following are some of the causes which results in improper casting sequence. Now, how to avoid cold joints? Now, treatment of construction joints surfaces. Prior placing of new concrete, existing concrete surfaces shall be hacked, cleaned, and treated carefully. Depending upon the age of the existing concrete, general modality and specification furnished below for ready reference. If within 12 hours, within 12 hours to 3 days, within 3 days to 7 days. Now, if the joint is more than 7 days, Please note, latex or epoxy-based bonding agent shall be used within 30 minutes prior concreting. Interestingly, sometimes for horizontal and vertical joints, separate specialized compounds used. With advancement of nanotechnology, high performance, reactive, and flexible bonding agents are available for concrete cold joints, which can be used 30 minutes to 72 hours prior concreting. Expansion joints. Recommendations for placing of expansion joints. Though the expansion joint is not the subject matter of this presentation, but it is experienced from various project sites that expansion joints are not designed or considered appropriately there. But needless to mention that as it is very important element of any structure and the basics of expansion joints shall be known to all concerned engineers and professionals. For interested readers, please refer IS 3414 Code of Practice for Design and Installation of Joints in Buildings for management of expansion joints. Few of the expansion joint treatments or methods are starter in construction joint. In most of the construction sites, we start our column or wall concrete conventionally with starter. But interestingly, at the same time, it is said that the starter joint is a weak joint in any structural element. Nowadays, there are few innovative products has come in the market for replacing traditional column starters. Disadvantages of traditional column or wall starter.
Traditional method is slow and needs two persons involvement during starter preparation. Moreover, there is a hassle of arranging smaller amounts of concrete due to manual process, and top of all, it takes at least 24 to 36 hours before shuttering can begin. On the other hand, we have a robust and technically proven solution to all these problems, and that's the Hilti XFS Form Stop element. Just set up and complete the fixing within 2 minutes. And guess what? Fixings are perfectly aligned, steady, and absolutely ready for shuttering, thereby saving manpower cost and precious construction time for our customers.
पर टावर में पर फ्लोर पे 51 शेयर वाल हैं। जो हिल्टी की टेक्नोलॉजी है, जो स्टार्ट टेक्नोलॉजी है, उसको यूज करने से 4 से 5 दिन हम सेविंग कर पा रहे हैं और एक स्लैब साइकिल में 2 से 3 दिन हम बचा पा रहे हैं, और जिससे हमारे वर्कर की जो एफिशिएंसी है काम करने की वो 10 से 15% बढ़ जा रही है।
A column starter is amongst the weakest element in building construction due to variation in concrete grades during the process. With Hilti starter element, getting a monolithic structure by straightway casting the column is definitely one less headache. We are assured that the casted column will be a single structure.
At Hilti, we strive to bring new technology in the market which helps to elevate and simplify the construction process. And the XFS form stop technology is one such element that can benefit all the stakeholders by saving precious man hours spent per slab casting.
Detailed TDS, that is technical datasheet, is also available online. Now, use of ready-made keyed joint, high rib. High ribs are metallic corrugated strips, galvanized, having protrusions on one side, used in horizontal or vertical directions as topper for construction joints as a permanent or temporary formwork material. High rib is available in market from 0.1 mm to 0.5 mm thickness and in width of 300 to 1200 mm. Now, few do's and don'ts while using high rib. Please go through in detail. Few advantages of using high ribs at construction joints. Along with couple of important notes. For many years, the typical way to transfer shear at a construction joint was with a keyed joint. But nowadays, many experts no longer recommend keyed joint since they seldom stay tight enough to provide positive shear transfer. Hope you have got a holistic idea about construction joints in structures. Thank you. Further, if you wish to implement the same in your building or project or property and organization and add or earn values, may contact us for further supports. Once again, request you all to subscribe our this informative channel and press bell icon for immediate all future updation and notification. Also share with your friends and contacts you feel will be of their use because sharing is caring. Thank you all. Hope to see you in next video. Namaskar.